In the heart of Central Africa lies a forest so dense that sunlight barely touches the ground. It is older than empires, older than kings, and it keeps its secrets well. For decades, explorers whispered about stone roads hidden beneath the jungle, colossal terraces, and carvings of faces unlike any tribe known today. They called the place Nyasia, the forest civilization Africa forgot.
The first written account of Nyasia dates to 1897. Belgian surveyor Henri Delvaux mentioned terraces of cut stone deep within the equatorial forest. His notes were dismissed as imagination until 1952, when a British botanical team stumbled upon a wall of fitted basalt blocks, 40 meters long and perfectly straight. The forest had swallowed a city.
LiDAR and ground-penetrating radar, used decades later, revealed geometric outlines beneath the canopy, plazas, canals, and even what appeared to be road networks stretching for kilometers. A forgotten urban landscape under the trees. When the first clearings were made, archaeologists found architecture unlike anything in sub-Saharan Africa. Tower bases carved from basalt, drains lined with polished stone, reliefs depicting stylized suns and figures with elongated heads. Who built this, and why so deep in the forest? Carbon dating placed the earliest layers between 1000 BCE and 600 CE, centuries before most Central African kingdoms arose. Yet the builders left no metal, no pottery of known style, no recognizable writing, only symbols, carved spirals, crescents, and hands, repeating on every wall. Local oral tradition tells of the Yanyasi, the river people who built the forest stairs. They are said to have lived in balance with the trees, carving rivers into channels and planting orchards of fruit that still grow wild today. One legend speaks of their ruler, Queen Ekana, she who commanded the rains. It was said her city floated between the trees, suspended by ropes of vines. Modern scholars think the floating city may have referred to raised platforms built to protect against flooding. Archaeologists found evidence of suspended walkways made from stone and timber, engineering centuries ahead of its time. Then, the silence. Around the 9th century CE, Nyasia disappeared. Tree rings from preserved wood showed decades of drought, followed by massive floods. The forest turned hostile. The rivers rose. Excavations show entire districts buried under layers of silt. The last inscriptions read, "We return to the earth. The roots reclaim our homes." By the time European explorers reached the region, only the forest remained, thick, endless, impassable. Nyasia was erased, its memory fading into myth. In 2008, satellite imagery revealed rectangular clearings in the Congolese rainforest, too straight for nature. A joint African-French research mission confirmed human geometry beneath centuries of soil. Drones mapped terraces, roads, even reservoirs carved into rock. They called it Project Nyasia. Excavations uncovered obsidian tools, bone jewelry, and fragments of an unknown composite metal, part copper, part zinc, alloyed with traces of gold. A metallurgical signature found nowhere else in Africa. Among the ruins, researchers found small tablets of bark pressed with inked symbols. Some matched carvings on the walls. Linguists believe they represent an early pictographic system, perhaps a proto-writing form unique to the region. The same spiral symbol appears alongside depictions of trees, perhaps representing life, growth, or memory. If deciphered, these could become Africa's oldest written language, a record of voices silenced by the jungle. Today, the rainforest still breathes over Nyasia's ruins. Frogs sing where temples once stood. Roots split the stones, reclaiming what was once human. But in that silence, archaeologists hear something deeper. The echo of civilization not driven by conquest or empire, but by coexistence. The Nyasi built not against the forest, but with it. Perhaps that is why they were forgotten, because they did not conquer, they simply lived, and when the forest came for them, they accepted it as home again.
Nyasia remains one of archaeology's great enigmas. No museum displays its relics, no textbook tells its story, yet under the canopy, the stones still stand, untouched, patient, alive. Scientists plan further expeditions, but each year vines close over the paths, as if the forest itself decides what to reveal. Perhaps some stories were never meant to be fully uncovered. Perhaps Nyasia endures, not in ruins, but in the roots and leaves that remember. When the wind moves through the forest, it carries whispers of a civilization long forgotten. Listen closely, and you might still hear them.